only takes one person. One person can take you to the next dimension. One idea can take you to the next dimension. One book. And it's like we have to keep driving forward and we can't focus on just the one thing. I didn't sell enough books.
Want you to do is if you have been listening for the last 30 minutes, I want you to hang out because I'm about to bring in another powerhouse. I told you this is going to be a great night, and I hope you all are taking notes because this lady who I'm bringing on to the screen right now, Miss Melanie Bonita, she has some things for you. And tell the people what you call yourself, ma'am.
The book boss lady.
Book boss lady. Welcome to the Horizons Author Lounge. I think this is my first time having you actually in the lounge.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it. And I love Lovely. I met her in at Houston, Texas as well at the event. And I just love her energy. And it's just a pleasure. I learned a lot from her myself. Look, I've used Eventbrite and I have made lots of money from Eventbrite, but I'm about to turn up the heat. I literally was just telling someone yesterday to go to Eventbrite to look for events because she just moved to her area. She's like, I don't know where to go. I don't know who to find, how to find events to do, speaking engagements and book signings and all kinds of vendor events. I'm like, you're in Atlanta, go to Eventbrite. You see
There's always something going on in Atlanta.
Always. That's what I was telling her. I said, just go to Eventbrite and Facebook events, and literally you'll be able to find tons and tons and tons of events to do book signings at.
Yes, absolutely. So now we had just ended the conversation talking about how you can take your book and you can open up a number of different revenue streams and how you can build your platform. But I know you can talk the whole 30 minutes about that because that's what you do. But before you do that, I would love it if you would just introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are.
Yes, ma'am. I am Melanie Bonita, the book boss lady. I help authors become Amazon bestsellers and six-figure authors. And I currently have 10 number one Amazon best-selling books. I do have 2 of them with me. I have some here.
Background. I know it's a beautiful home behind you. Yeah, hold the book like right here. I want to be able to see it. Yeah. There we go.
Yes, this one's Daily Dose of Determination. This one is my first book, and I've actually literally had people tell me that book have kept them from committing suicide, have brought them out of a depression, have helped them write their book, start their business, start their ministry. I have so many testimonies just from this first book. I always like to tell people who God gave them a vision for a book, or they're thinking about writing a book, or they haven't started them. I always tell them, who would be dead as a result of you not writing your book?
Wow, that's a heavy question.
It is, because a lot of people think, oh, I just have a vision for a book, or this is a great idea, or this is an idea. No, there was a reason why God that it was planted in you. Somebody needs what you have. It's so important. And I have people tell me all the time, oh, nobody's going to read my book. It's about self-confidence. A lot of people don't even want to write it because they're scared, and they don't even think anybody is going to read their book. Excuse me. They don't think anyone's going to read their book, buy their book. And so they're already talking themselves out of it before they even write the book.
Right.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true.
Well, it's easy. I actually said this to a coworker today. Sometimes the story that we tell ourselves is worse than what the real story actually is. And so it is so easy for us to talk ourselves out of doing something because our mind is telling us that we're not good enough. Who would listen to us? Or everybody's already written about that. And they don't need my voice. And so we talk ourselves out of it, and we wind up talking ourselves out of a blessing at the same time.
Absolutely. I totally agree. It's like, why are we talking ourselves out of it? When instead of saying, what if this don't happen? What if I sell 1 million books? Right? Hey, Crystal, my cousin Crystal's here supporting me. What if what if I do sell out? What if I do get speaking engagement opportunities as a result of releasing this book? Let's think about the positive and the what if positives opposed to the what if nobody shows. You know, I literally supported one of my friends on her book release event, and she just kept crying and crying and crying. And she said that's why she put writing off her book for so many years. She said she didn't think nobody would show up. She
Mm.
thought she didn't think anyone would show up. Hey, Gia. Yes, Gia, another supporter. You know, I tell you, people don't realize people want to support you. People want to help you. They want to be there for you. Now, of course, you may have a handful of people that may be jealous and haters and may not, but the majority of people that they're rooting for you, they're like, oh, go, 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 you know, keep moving forward, keep doing other things, because that is the reality, is that we have to be in a position and say, no, I'm not going to stay in the same place. I'm going to get out everything I put in me. I'm not going to be like, you know what Dr. Miles Monroe say, the richest place is the graveyard, because so many people die with their dreams in them.
That's it. Oh, you're just dropping all the bombs tonight.
Yeah, that's why I love podcasts. That's like what she was just saying, what Lovely was just saying. It's like so much information could come out in podcasts. And you
Yes.
know, we have to be mindful of, we can't just stick to ourselves. Matter of fact, it's so funny. She said she has podcasts all week. Well, tonight I have another one right after this. I have one at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm like, okay, God, this is so funny. I just came back from Atlanta. You know, like I said, I had a 4-day event book signing in Atlanta. And so it's like, we got to keep moving. We have to keep moving. We have to keep shaking, and we have to keep ourselves um, out there, so to speak. And it doesn't
Yes.
necessarily have to always be online, like you said. You know what I mean? It can be at events. When I was at that event, I got a speaking engagement in Baton Rouge just from being at that event. And I wasn't even a speaker at that event.
Right.
I had a vendor table and selling my books. But the reality is, I made a decision to invest in myself and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to get a table. I'm not just going to attend this conference, but I'm going to get a table, sell my books. And from that, of course, I sold a lot of, the other book that I have here. I do want to talk about this real quick, because this one is Daily Dose of Direction for Women in Business, or women that want to start their own business. And there's a lot of women that they're like, oh, I want to start a business and I don't know where to start. Now, this doesn't give you the blueprint, but it gives you biblical principles. But as a woman in business, or a woman that want to start your own business, you know, it's a devotional. So what do I need to do? How do I do it? What kind of prayers can I pray to help get this business started? So yeah, it's you know, I sold a lot of those books, even though, hey, Audrey, she's in my Six Figure Author Academy also. So, I mean, I have I'm so glad y'all support lots and lots and lots of supporters here. And like I said, people, and Audrey has several books. And that's the thing, she was just on a billboard with us in New York Times Square for Women's International Day. You know, I help authors get on billboards as well. So it's like, we don't have to stick to that one stream of income. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, we don't. And Debbie's going to be a co-author in my next book. Say that again.
Awesome. Okay, and that's a great way to segue into what I originally asked you. So now a person has written a book, and I'm going to preface this by saying, when I go to events, I do events for the long game. It's nice if you purchase my book, but I also want you to be a future client. Yes. I also want you to invite me to be on your podcast. Yes. I also want you to do some work with me. I mean, there are so many different things that you can do, but sometimes we get our minds stuck on, I didn't sell enough books. Right. And there are just so many ways that you can take that book and build your platform. So now that I've said that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Miss Melanie. Because I already know you can talk the rest of the show about this.
Well, you know, Dr. Rhonda, it's funny because like you said, people are focused on, I want to sell a book. I want to sell a book. And yes, you want to sell a book, but the networking, it's like, have you heard the term, your network determines your net worth?
Exactly.
Networking at this event with people that are where you want to go, and people like Lovely, Forbes. She's connected to Forbes. She's the, event. She has all these things. Like, connect with those that are where you want to be, and that can help catapult you to the next dimension. It really only takes one person. One person can take you to the next dimension. One idea can take you to the next dimension. One book. And it's like, we have to keep driving forward and we can't focus on just the one thing. I didn't sell enough books, because when I go, I don't just go just to sell books anyway. Like I said, I'm already strategizing. Okay, well, I need to meet this person. I need to meet that person. I need to network with that person. I need to make sure not just selling books, but I sell, wristbands and bracelets and shirts, like the shirt I have on that says, I am a six-figure author. There were people at that event this weekend that weren't even authors, but that bought this shirt because they were speaking those things as being not as though they were. And so it's like, you have to think forward minded. It's okay, well, what's the next, not only networking event I'm going to have, but what other products and services can I sell? Can I sell a $1,500 billboard opposed to a $15 book? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, don't just focus on what kind of coaching client. Book signings, I get coaching clients all the time. I get people that join my Six-Figure Author Academy as well. So it's like, there's so much bigger picture when we have so much more to offer. And I think a lot of people need to look deep within themselves, especially authors, and say, what else can I offer in addition to this book?